The Morrison government has delayed the launch of a new billion-dollar energy fund after Barnaby Joyce lodged an amendment to use the money, which is administered by the Clean Energy Finance Corporation, to build a new coal-fired power station. The original bill brought in by Energy Minister Angus Taylor would allow the CEFC, this is the government's green bank, first set up by Bob Brown a number of years ago, to invest in more gas and hydro projects. For more on this, I'm joined now by my regular guest for some not so regular or not so common sense from Sydney, straight talker in chief, the leader of One Nation in New South Wales, Mark Latham. All right, help me explain all of this. Barnaby Joyce, as I see it, has essentially hijacked Angus Taylor's bill here, Mark. And I mean, this is a green bank, as I said. It was done when Gillard was desperate to stay in power in 2010. She did a deal with the Greens. $10 billion of taxpayers' money went into sort of gimmicky green projects. If they could give big companies like Woolies taxpayer money to have energy-efficient fridges, why on earth can't it build a coal-fired power station?
Yeah, it might have found a use in the new financial environment, Peter, because it was a coalition promise in 2013 to abolish this so-called green bank. And the green bank, for most of its life, has been a subsidy for jobs in China. Because if you subsidise solar panels in Australia and they're made in China, where most of them are, or wind towers, then you're subsidising manufacturing jobs in China. So how crazy is that? But the new reality is that the woke banks and financial institutions such as the ANZ have said that they won't finance any projects in Australia that got anything to do with coal. Even the commendable project of a container terminal at the port of Newcastle to diversify the Hunter economy and create jobs and add $2.5 billion to GDP. So it's a classic case of market failure where the banks aren't financing coal, a legal, legitimate investment, and in market failure circumstances, it's a good idea Barnaby Joyce has had to put the money into the investments where the banks won't touch it because they've gone woke.
And if I remember the originating legislation for this green bank, one of the issues at heart was to fund projects that weren't commercial. Projects in this space, it was the green space, but projects that the normal lenders wouldn't provide funding for. So this would meet the test.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a disgrace that banks like ANZ won't touch projects that are legal, legitimate, just because there's some even indirect association with coal. Coal shouldn't be a dirty word. Coal shouldn't be a dirty investment anywhere. It's creating jobs, 75,000 coal-reliant jobs in the Hunter Valley alone. So if the market's failing, it makes sense for government to fill the gap, and that's what should happen. I'd relabel it from green bank to a jobs bank.